Hugh Keevins walked into the Clyde Super Scoreboard studio with a swagger that only Vince McMahon could ever match. And he laid down the gauntlet. He said that Celtic have lost the league, it's all over, and that Hearts have already won it. Welcome back to Fog Football. It was a must-see edition of Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard last night. It didn't disappoint, but I thought Hugh Keevins, man, some of his wording I thought was mental regarding some things. I mean, at the very beginning of this show, he literally said that Rangers are in recovery and Celtic are in crisis. Now, here, I would empty my bank account for that statement to be true. And I mean, I guess you could say at the weekend defeating Killie is some form of recovery in what Celtic went through, losing to Hearts, Brendan resigning, Martin O'Neill saying Hearts are going to win the league, 10 minutes later being appointed, and then Dermot Desmond absolutely burying him. I mean, I guess you could say that is a crisis, but at the same time, I think both teams are in crisis. I mean, I guess you could say as well, the gap's only 5 points, and the fact that the gap is only 5 points between both Old Firm clubs is absolutely insane, considering how bad our start has been to the season. We're both in the same semi-final. Hell, we take each other on Sunday, and yeah, Celtic are 4 points clear of us in Europe. There is no getting away from that. So obviously, when you look at from a point of view of has there been much of a recovery from a Rangers point of view, we're going to have to wait a couple of weeks on that. But that was a bizarre thing to say. But to pretty much write off everybody and say that the league is over and Hearts have won it is crazy. Like, he's been banging on for the last couple of weeks, essentially saying that, well, Hearts are champions elect, which I think if you were of that mindset, that's fair enough. Like, champions elect, it's, I mean, you're heavily hinting the Hearts are going to do it, but to come out and straight up say that Celtic have lost the league, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then he was kind of bashing the decision of getting rid of Rodgers and all that. It's, for me, we don't really know. There's been nothing came out to suggest that Rodgers was sacked. To me, it looks like a guy that's resigned. I don't think we'll know the truth until Brendan Rodgers speaks on it, folks. There's no, I mean, we can speculate all we want. Hell, that's part of, it's all a part of the game, so to speak. But at the end of the day, until he actually does speak on it, and hopefully there's not been an NDA signed, because it would be fucking fantastic to hear the drama, because that has to be quite possibly the craziest statement ever. One of the craziest statements ever in Scottish, especially in recent memory, man. Honestly, that was absolutely insane. But Hugh Keevins, man, he was sharpening the blade all night, going in on Celtic, and it was fun to behold. You just knew. Even Clyde Super Scoreboard were tweeting about it, putting up on Instagram, Hugh Keevins rocking in to the Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard studios. They put it up well in advance because we knew we'd all be tuning in. He was on that train to Ballock, and he got off with that swagger, man. Vince McMahon, no chance. That is what you've got. And do we believe it? Do we buy it? Does Hugh Keevins truly feel that the league is over and that Hearts have won it? No, I don't think he's. Well, I say I don't think. I mean, the guy rarely gets a prediction right, but he did say Hearts would beat Celtic 3-0. They beat them 3-1. He was close, probably closer than what most people predicted. But a long way to go. I mean, even Rodgers said after the game, well, there's 29 games to go. We can't really do this and do that. And then you've obviously here. Say what you want, but there's 10 other teams in the league. Danny, roll. You gotta roll with it. But yeah, I'm taking each game at a time. You never, I mean, honestly, Hibs could beat Rangers. Celtic could lose to Falkirk or draw, and Hibs could go within a point of them. Hearts could lose to St Mirren. They've already won out the cup this season so far. In the League Cup, was it the quarters? I think it was the last 16 to St Mirren. So yeah, no, it was the last 16 to St Mirren. So crazy things have already happened. I mean, we are sitting at the end of October, folks. We both held Old Firm managers away. Hearts sent 8 points clear. I mean, unprecedented protests against both sets of Old Firm boards. It is nothing. Nothing, it feels like this season is off limits, man. It literally feels like anything and everything could happen. But yeah, Hugh Keevins, I don't even know if he's at the wind-up, man. I used to think, fuck, this guy doesn't like Rangers. And he comes across as a guy that definitely leans towards Celtic. I'll be honest, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, nah, This is a guy who's predicted Rangers to win every game this season. Predicted Celtic to pretty much drop points in every game this season. He definitely, I'm not saying he's a Rangers man, but he doesn't like Celtic, that's for sure. Maybe he's still bitter about that incident in 1994. Anyway, moving on to other comments made by Hugh Keevins, which were quite funny. He was talking about Martin O'Neill, and he says, being 2 years older than Martin O'Neill, he doesn't expect to see the same antics that Martin O'Neill used to use quarter of a century ago, 20 years ago, when he used to jump up and down. And honestly, I think I'd pay money to see Hugh Keevins try and jump up and down the way some managers jump, like he's referring to Martin O'Neill. I mean, imagine Hugh Keevins trying to do jumping jacks. I mean, he might be better than Yang, but that doesn't mean he can do jumping jacks at the end of the day. And that is where we're going to leave it, folks. What do you make of Hugh Keevins' comments? Leave it in the comment section down below. I mean, of course, folks, the league's not over. It's just not. For me, it doesn't really matter who would be 8 points clear to say. Well, I mean, I say it doesn't matter, obviously. If this is last season and Celtic were playing the way they were and they were 8 points, I think, honestly, I wish I could sit here and say if Rangers were 8 points clear, I'd believe it. I wouldn't. I remember during Title 55, I remember we were like 17 points clear. Be like hee-haw, games left to go, and I was still worried. We needed to get that over the line, and obviously we did. So, I mean, I hope this season, which probably won't happen, but in the near future, Rangers are sitting like 8 points clear, somewhere in that. Maybe the potential go 11 clear, like Hearts can in the next couple of weeks. But until then, I mean, honestly, only in recent years has it felt like if one team was 8 points clear, they've won the league. And Hearts, who knows, man? Tony Bloom, he's building something, but apparently he needs to report it to UEFA, according to a certain subscriber of ours. So, aye, we'll leave it there. Tony Bloom, though, working some magic.